After almost 10 years of trial, Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, has been handed a life-changing judgment that could keep him behind bars for the rest of his life. The Federal High Court delivered the ruling in his absence, meaning Kanu will remain in prison unless a higher court overturns the decision. The court had earlier ordered his ejection after he fled up when his bail appeal and his final written address were rejected. Kanu insisted that the charge he was tried under had already been repealed in 2022. The court held that Kanu's behavior in court was unruly and arrogant. He was convicted on 7 count charges of terrorism. Count 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 each attracts life imprisonment. Count 3 carries 5 years, while count 7 carries 20 years. In Thursday's ruling, Justice James Omotosho held that Kanu's broadcasts and directives to his now-banned IPOB movement incited deadly attacks on security forces, civilians across the Southeast. While acknowledging that self-determination is a political right, the judge held that any form of self-determination outside the Nigerian constitution remains illegal. Kanu represented himself in court after he converted all his lawyers to legal consultants. Prosecutors pushed for death penalty, but Justice James Omotosho opted for life imprisonment, citing international standards. With Kanu having 90 days to appeal his judgment, he could spend the rest of his life in prison if a higher court doesn't give a contrary judgment. His lawyers said the ruling was driven by anger and was unfair to the Igbo community, vowing to challenge it at the Court of Appeal.
This judgment is predicated on anger. Thank God that the judgment was extreme life and everybody watched it. You will see the anger in delivering the judgment. And it's not predicated on law.
The prosecution maintains that the judgment will serve as a deterrent to similar offenses.
I congratulate Nigeria today for seeing the end of this, and let it be a warning to those who may think they are bigger than Nigeria. Nigeria is bigger than every one of us. The law is bigger than every one of us. And the law will take its course to deal with miscreants, to deal with terrorists, to deal with criminals.
On the same day, the Federal High Court sentenced Hussaini Ismaila, a senior ISWAP figure, to 20 years in prison. Justice Emeka Nwiti delivered the judgment after Ismail pleaded guilty to 4 counts of terrorism charge filed by the DSS. He received 15 years on the first count and 20 years each on counts 2, 3, and 4. The sentence is expected to run concurrently, starting from the day he was in prison, August 30th, 2017. Across the northern Nigeria, insecurity continues to escalate. 25 schoolgirls were kidnapped from a boarding school in Kebbi State earlier in the week. In Niger State, pupils and staff of St. Mary's School in Agwara remain missing after an attack. The Niger State government described the event as distressful and avoidable, noting that earlier security directives had been ignored. And in Kwara State, government has shut down schools in 5 districts after gunmen killed 2 worshippers and abducted several others during the church attack. Search and rescue operations are underway as communities continue to pray for the safe return of those abducted. Meanwhile, former President Goodluck Jonathan has warned that reckless political behavior is suffocating Nigeria's democracy. Speaking at the 10th anniversary of his foundation, an event that also doubled as a celebration of his 68th birthday, he urged political actors to embrace responsibility and restraint. With this, we've come to the end of Flashpoint 360. I am Rafiat Sadiq. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. See you in our next video.